Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and greetings everyone. My name is Muhammad Muzammil bin Musa and my matrix number is 23DLS23F2058.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Faris Sakir bin Muhammad Faisal. My matrix number is 23DLS 23F and 2056.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Hazimi bin Nasiman. Nama matric 23DLS 23F2070.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Aiman Mashbihi. My matric number is 23DLS 23F2040.
My name is Rehan son of Edison and my matric number is 23DLS 23F2080.
So, today I will be talking about the Export Management Company, or EMC for short. An export management company is a firm that helps manufacturer or producer sell their product in foreign market. You can think of it as a company that acts like the export department for business that don't have one. So now, what is key function of an EMC? An EMC performs many important functions. First, it finds international buyers and new markets. It also handles all the export paperwork and shipping arrangement. Besides that, the EMC negotiate contract and pricing, promotes the product overseas, and ensure payment collection and delivery. So basically, it manages the entire export process on behalf of the manufacturer. So, advantage of using an EMC. There are several advantages of using an EMC. It helps small or new companies enter global market more easily. It also saves costs because the company doesn't need to create its own export department. Lastly, EMC already have international experience and a strong network of foreign buyers. Here are some examples of export management companies. Global Export Management Inc. from the United States, which handle machinery export. Export Management Co. from the United Kingdom, which supports several British brands, and locally, for example, ABC Export Service in Malaysia helps small and medium business export products like palm oil, rubber, and food items. To conclude, an export management company plays a key role in international trade by connecting local producer with global market. It's a great solution for companies that want to expand overseas without handling the export process themselves. Thank you. So now I'm going to talk about export trading companies, or ETC. An export trading company is a business that helps local manufacturers sell their product to international market. It acts as a middleman, buying goods from local producers and selling them to foreign buyers. Functions of ETC. The main function of an export trading company is to make exporting easier for small and medium-sized business. They handle things like export documentation, shipping, insurance, and finding buyers overseas. This means that local producers can focus on making good quality product while the ETC takes care of all the international trade process. Example of ETC. Some well-known example of export trading companies includes Mitsu & Co. Ltd. from Japan, which export machinery, food, and chemicals. Marubeni Corporation, also from Japan, involved in energy and textile export. Cargill International from the United States, which export agriculture and food products. And Samsung C&T Corporation from South Korea, which trades electronic and construction materials. In conclusion, export trading companies are very important in international business. They help connect producers and buyers across the world, making global trade smoother and more efficient. Without ETC, many small businesses might struggle to reach international market. Thank you. What is an import-export merchant? An import-export merchant is a person or company that buys and sells goods across different countries. They buy product directly from suppliers or manufacturer and then sell those products to buyers in other countries. Unlike agents or brokers, they own the goods themselves and take full business risk. Their main goal is to make profit by selling the goods at a higher price in another market. So, the key characteristic, import-export merchant work independently. They don't represent any specific company. They handle everything on their own, including logistics, shipping, and custom document. They decide their own price and bear of all financial risks such as shipping delays or damaged goods. This merchant can either import goods to sell locally or export local product to foreign markets. Their profit comes from the difference between the buying and selling price. For example, Milo Trading Enterprise in Malaysia imports coffee beans from Vietnam and export Milo chocolate drinks to Indonesia and the Philippines. The company manages packaging, shipping, and custom clearance. Everything is handled by the merchant itself. In conclusion, an import-export merchant is an independent trader who buys and sells goods between countries. They take the business risk, handle logistics and shipping, and make profit from price difference. These merchants are important because they help connect local product to international market and support global trade. Now let's look at the summary table that show the main difference between the three types of export and import companies: export management companies, export trading company, and export-import merchant. First, in terms of ownership of goods, the export management company or EMC does not own the goods. They only help manage the export process for other manufacturers. However, both the export trading companies ETC and the export import merchant actually own the goods they trade. Next, the main role is different. The EMC acts as a service provider, managing export operation for other business. The ETC focus on buying and selling product in international market based on what foreign buyers want. Meanwhile, the import-export merchant works independently, buying goods directly and selling them abroad on their own. In terms of risk level, the EMC has a low risk since it earns through service fees or commission. The ETC face moderate to high risk because it buys and resells product, and the import-export merchant face the highest risk since all profit or loss depends on their own trading. For payment type, EMC earn through commission or management fees, while ETC and import-export merchant make money through profit margin from their sales. Lastly, their focus is also different. EMC focus on helping manufacturer. ETC focus on foreign buyer demand, and import-export merchant focus on their own business opportunities. So, in short, all three are involved in international trade, but their roles, ownership, and risk levels are very different. That's all from me. Thank you.
My group will explain 6 main steps that every entrepreneur must follow to successfully start and manage an international trade business. So the first steps and the second step I will explain, and other steps will explain by other group members. So let's begin with the first step. Get the business order. The first step is to secure a business order to inquiry from a buyer or importer. This means finding someone who is interested in your product. To do this, we can reach out to potential client through trade fairs, online platform like Alibaba or Trade India or through business network. Send quotation, product catalogs and samples to attract buyers. Then finalize the terms of the order, including the quantity, product specification, payment method, and delivery schedule. So basically, the steps is about finding customers and confirming the deal. For now, pick the product to export or import. The second step is choosing the right product. This is very important decision because it determines the success of the business. So we must research market demand locally and internationally. Then identify profitable and legal product that have export potential. So consider the quality, durability, and cultural or seasonal preference of the target market. For example, exporting Malaysian palm oil or importing Korean skincare products.
I will continue to explain about part C, source the supplier. Once the product is selected, we need to find a reliable supplier. This involves contacting local factories or wholesale distributors, checking the supplier's credibility through certifications or trade licenses, negotiating the best prices, quality, standards, and delivery schedules can ensure that our products meet the buyer's expectations. Next, we must set the right price for our product, but pricing should be competitive and also profitable. When deciding the price, we must consider the cost of goods, including packaging and labeling. Secondly, logistic costs, such as shipping, insurance, custom duties, and handling. And third, the market price, by checking international price, trends, and others competitors. And finally, include a reasonable profit margin to ensure sustainability. That's all for me. Thank you.
The next point is find the customer. The fifth step is to find and build relationship with customer. We can use online B2B platform like Alibaba and Global Source, connect with importers or retailers through trade shows or chambers of commerce. Promote our product through marketing strategies such as a website, social media, or email campaign. Strong relationship with customer help the business grow globally. Lastly, get the logistic down. Finally, we must manage logistic efficiently to ensure smooth delivery. This includes choosing the best transport mode by air, sea, or land, depending on cost and urgency, ranging freight forwarding, customs clearance, and insurance. Preparing important export documents like the invoice, packing list, bill of lading, and certificate of origin. And lastly, tracking shipment and maintaining communication with client to ensure satisfaction. In conclusion, establishing an export and import business involves 6 key steps. First, get the business order. Second, pick the right product. Third, source a reliable supplier. Fourth, price the product properly. Fifth, find the customer. And lastly, manage logistics efficiently. By following these steps, entrepreneur can build a successful and sustainable international trade business. That's all from me. Thank you.
For today, I want to present about 5 government agencies supervising export and import. The first one is Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry (MITI). The role is to formulate and implement trade and industry policies to promote Malaysia global competitiveness. The support is provide export-import, guidelines trade policy and assist entrepreneur with international market access through program Dematrade and Safecorps. For number 2 is Malaysia External Trade Development Corporation. The role is to Malaysian National Trade Promotion Agency under MITI. For number 3 is Royal Malaysian Custom Department JKDM. For the support, ensure smooth custom clearance, external import export laws, and provides guidance and tariff, clarification and trade facilitation system like custom. For number 4 is Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. MAFS. For the role is to oversee the import and export of agriculture and food product. For example, is they have to support export of halal food product and agriculture commodities to Asian and Middle Eastern countries. For the last one is number 5. For number 5 is Malaysian quarantines and inspection secret markets. The role is to control and import and export of plant animals and food products to ensure the meat health and security standards. For the example is they have to work closely with customs to ensure biosecurity compliance. That's all for me. There's 5 government agencies. Thank you.